Thank you for tuning in to this first installment of News Junkies. Please like, share, and subscribe. No more talk. Let's get this fixed.
A former South Suburban police chief is blowing the whistle on the embattled mayor of Dolton, Tiffany Henyard.
Yes, Fox 32 has investigated Henyard's use of a police security detail, taking officers off the street and costing thousands of dollars in overtime.
And now the former chief is talking about it exclusively to Fox 32's Dane Placco.
Yeah, Mayor Henyard fired her chief of police late last year without any approval from the village board. So now Robert Collins has filed a lawsuit against the village. And tonight he's talking exclusively to Fox 32 about what he saw on the inside.
The manpower was just very stressed and critical to the point of almost breaking, having to provide officers on the detail rather than have officers out patrolling the streets.
Former Dolton Police Chief Robert Collins spoke to us from Florida, where he's taken a new job. But he says he remains frustrated by what he experienced leading an undermanned, overworked police department. Demanded a large personal security detail.
You know, wrong is wrong, and there's a time to hold people responsible and accountable for their actions.
Last year, Fox 32 investigated Henyard's detail, following along as Dolton police officers drove her from morning till night, often to her second job as Thornton Township supervisor in South Howland, racking up hundreds of hours of overtime, costing taxpayers tens of thousands of dollars.
We needed those officers to be on the street fighting crime. And instead, we have several officers that are riding around protecting the mayor.
At least 2 and as many as 4 officers at a time, he says. Collins says the security detail was warranted when it started in 2021, after a police-involved shooting sparked protests in the community.
And at some point, the protests stopped. The things going on around the protests all eventually stopped. However, the detail continued.
But now he says it's turned into more than just security. Officers are being used as Henyard's personal valets.
Officers would be sent out to run errands, to do pickups, to do drop-offs.
Just last week, a mass shooting on Sibley Boulevard in Dolton left 4 people injured. Collins believes the bad guys know there aren't enough cops on Dolton streets.
But Village of Dolton has its challenges with gangs, guns, and drugs. And if those officers aren't there, the visibility isn't there. And if the visibility isn't there, then criminals have free reign.
Damn, Tiff. You done turned the police force into an Uber Eats delivery service, personal protection, and them streets is running rampant. Let's get one more fix and we out of here.
WGN Investigates has an update on dysfunction in Dolton, where local leaders are fighting over transparency, spending, and safety. Now the South Suburbs' controversial mayor is firing back, and it all played out at a public meeting last night.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet, the mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work, no work.
Tiffany Henyard considers herself something of a crusader, but one who's clearly annoyed by questions from a rebellious group of Dolton trustees who are in a standoff with her over spending.
At the end of the day, vendors are not being paid. Board approved it. The vendors are not being paid.
How about you be a good leader, bring RFPs to the forefront, so not just us, but the residents and everybody else in America know how the money is being spent.
WGN Investigates has cataloged tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars spent on trips, meals, and more by Tiffany Henyard and her allies in Dolton and on the Thornton Township Board, where she's the supervisor. Township credit card records show Henyard and other officials spent more than $67,000 on trips to Portland, Austin, Atlanta, and New York City. Many of the flights were first class. So were the accommodations. In Atlanta, Henyard and her team stayed at the Four Seasons Hotel, costing taxpayers more than $9,000. In New York, the bill came to $13,000. Henyard has refused to explain the specific purpose of the trips or why they travel in such style, but she appeared to refer to our reporting at Monday's Dolton meeting.
But everything we do for the people. But we under attack. We getting scrutinized in the media. For what? Loving on the people? Showing them that they matter to us? We going through the fires for y'all.
Henyard calls her critics grandstanders who should get in line.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Dolton's difficulties got worse in recent weeks with water main breaks Henyard blames on trustee budget cuts. Then 4 people were shot and injured last week, leaving nerves frayed and Henyard's opponents pointing out her sizable security detail.
It's unfortunate that politics are being played, but what has happened is $1 million out of my budget has been cut because of politics.
We're not saying the police is not doing a good job. What we're saying is you're assigning all of them to be with you when they should be out here protecting the residents so we can all feel safe.
Residents are taking notice. Some spoke for and others against the mayor.
Well, you know, we got the mayor here, meeting with the president of the United States. Everyone's seen the picture. That's a big deal. That is great promotion for this city, for this town.
Ladies and gentlemen, be civil. Do things right. Think of the residents. You are here to represent the residents and not yourself.
Henyard and her publicity team no longer respond to our emails seeking an explanation of her spending. As we've reported, she is also the face of a cancer charity that bears her name, one that has failed to file required financial disclosures. The Illinois Attorney General has given the foundation until the middle of this month to show how it spends its money or face legal action.
Now let me preface my outro by stating this. Tiff, with your sexy ass, you was dead wrong for calling out your trustees like that and spending those bands all across those U.S. lands. And love, you have to pay those vendors. The paperwork ain't mathin'. Now, once again, I do want to thank everyone for enjoying this content with me. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time when we need that fix. Peace.